What's up, you beautiful cynics? Welcome to the clown show breakdown of the century. Picture this: Coachella 2025. Glitter-dusted influencers, overpriced kombucha, and 36,000 kids vibing to Charlie XCX. Then, like a turd in a punch bowl, Bernie Sanders shuffles on stage, followed by AOC, to lecture everyone about fighting oligarchy. Fighting oligarchy. At Coachella, the irony is so thick you could choke on it. My name is Sirius. This is Unfluenced. The privileged class really just sits around sniffing their own farts, don't they? Now let's get into this. So I read this article, some Telegraph nonsense, and my brain nearly melted from the hypocrisy. Bernie, the millionaire socialist grandpa, and AOC, the bartender to bourgeoisie queen, wants us to stand up and fight against the rich. You know, people like them.
Please give it up for Senator Bernie Sanders!
But this is what I want to say. This country faces some very difficult challenges. And the future of what happens to America is dependent upon your generation. We need you to stand up, to fight for justice, to fight for economic justice, social justice, and racial justice. Now we got a president of the United States who, he thinks that climate change is a hoax. He is dangerously wrong. And you and I are going to have to stand up to the fossil fuel industry and tell them to stop destroying this planet. Politicians are trying to take away a woman's right to control her own body. We need you to stand up and fight for women's rights. We have an economy today that is working very well for the billionaire class, but not for working families. We need you to help us to create an economy that works well for everybody, not just the 1%. We have a healthcare system that is broken. We are the only major country not to guarantee health care to all people. We need you to stand up to the insurance companies and the drug companies and understand that health care is a human right.
So grab a drink, because we're diving into this steaming pile of sanctimonious drivel. We've got millionaires whining about billionaires, a class war that'll boomerang on their asses, and climate change sermons from beachfront property fanboys. Let's unpack this nonsense with the attention that it truly deserves. So let's start with Bernie Sanders, the patron saint of free shit. This guy's got the audacity to stand at Coachella, where tickets cost more than most people's rent, and lecture kids about economic justice. Meanwhile, he's sitting on a worth of what, 3 million, 5 million? I mean, who's counting when you've got 3 houses? Yeah, you heard me. He's got 3 houses. It's one really for each of his principles: socialism, hypocrisy, and yelling at clouds. Listen, I'm no economist, but I'm pretty sure fighting oligarchy doesn't mean buy a lakefront mansion in Vermont. Bernie's been a politician since Jesus was in diapers. And before that, he was like writing manifestos in a commune or something. He's never punched a clock in his life. He's never hauled lumber. He's never flipped burgers. He's never even tried to run a lemonade stand. His entire career has been mooching off taxpayer dollars while screaming about the 1%. Newsflash, Bernie. You are the 1%, or at least the 2%, which is close enough to make your class war bullshit laughable. Let's break it down. Bernie spent decades in Congress, pulling down about, what, $174,000 a year? I mean, it's a nice gig if you can get it. Add in the book deals, because nothing screams man of the people like profiteering off our revolution while kids are drowning in student debt. He's got a pension fatter than my Thanksgiving turkey. And don't forget the speaking gigs. Oh wait, those are for causes, right? Sure, Bernie. And I'm the Dalai Lama. At Coachella, he's got the balls to tell 20-year-olds, most of whom are probably Uber drivers or baristas, telling them to stand up and fight. Fight what, Bernie? Your mortgage? Your property taxes? The nerve of this guy wagging his finger while his bank account is doing the cha-cha. He's like a fox guarding the henhouse. Except the fox is also selling the eggs on Etsy for $20 a pop. Now the crowd is eating it up. They're cheering for this multi-millionaire like he's Robin Hood. Not the guy who's been coasting on their tax dollars since the Nixon administration. It's like watching the sheep applaud the shearer. Bernie's out here cosplaying as a revolutionary, but the only thing he's overthrowing is common sense. He wants a class war? Fine, but don't cry when the pitchforks show up at your doorstep, comrade. Now let's talk about AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the poster child for rags to riches hypocrisy. AOC's origin story is straight out of a Hollywood script. Plucky bartender slings drinks in the Bronx, then bam, she's a congresswoman worth allegedly $20 million? $20 million. Let that sink in for a second. Her salary's $174,000 a year, same as Bernie's. So either she's the world's best day trader, or something smells fishier than a Coney Island dumpster. Let's do some math. She's been in Congress since 2019. 6 years at $174,000. Carry the one, about $1 million before taxes. So where's the other 19 million coming from? Book deals? No. Speaking fees? Maybe. Or maybe it's just the magic of socialist stardom, where you can scream about wealth inequality while your accountant is doing backflips. This is the woman who cried about student loans, then showed up to the Met in a gown that costs more than a starter BMW. Tax the rich, her dress said, while she hobnobbed with billionaires. Now she's at Coachella preaching class solidarity to kids who can't afford health insurance. AOC, honey, you're not Rosa Parks. You're Marie Antoinette with better branding. And the kicker, she's got the nerve to say this movement isn't about partisan labels. Oh, please. This is the same AOC who's been riding the Democratic Party's coattails since she was pouring IPAs. She's not some rogue revolutionary. She's a brand. She's a walking Instagram filter for woke capitalism. Her net worth is climbing faster than Elon Musk's ego. And yet, she's out here telling us to fight the system. What system, AOC? The one that made you a multi-millionaire before you hit 40? I'm just so inspired by her struggle. From mixing martinis to mixing metaphors about oligarchy. AOC's journey proves that anyone can make it in America. I mean, if you've got a knack for sanctimonious sound bites and zero self-awareness. She's living proof that you can sell socialism to the masses while sipping champagne with the elite. Brava, comrade, brava. Now here's where the plot thickens a little bit. Bernie and AOC are out there stoking a class war, screaming about billionaires, like they're not one tax bracket away from the guillotine themselves. They want us to fight the wealthy class, but...
Surprise, motherfucker.
They are the wealthy class. It's like watching two wolves tell the sheep to go eat the predators. Bernie's got 3 houses. AOC has her mystery millions, and they're both pulling six figures just for showing up to Congress and tweeting. They're not scraping by at Wendy's or dodging eviction notice. They're the elite, the top dogs, the ones who'd be first against the wall if their precious revolution actually kicked off. You think the mob's gonna stop and check their net worth before storming the castle? Oh, sorry, Bernie, you're only worth $5 million, not $5 billion. Carry on. Yeah, right. Take a look in the mirror, you two. That's the face of privilege staring back. You're not the proletariat, you're the problem. Bernie is railing against a handful of billionaires controlling the country. But what about the handful of millionaires like him, hoarding wealth while kids go hungry? AOC is preaching class solidarity. But where's the solidarity when she's cashing checks most of us will never see? The painful irony, and God, it's delicious, is that they're demanding a war that's going to take them out first. They're like turkeys voting for Thanksgiving, too busy gobbling up applause to notice the oven's already preheated. If the poor ever do rise up, Bernie's lake house is getting torched way before Bezos's yacht. AOC's designer wardrobe, that's just kindling. They're not leading a revolution. They're writing their own eviction notices. And the Coachella crowd, they're just nodding along, too high on vibes to see the con. These kids are dropping $500 on tickets to hear millionaires complain about billionaires, while they're stuck choosing between groceries and gas. That's not solidarity. That's Stockholm Syndrome. Bernie and AOC are playing them like fiddles, and the tune is called Hypocrisy in D minor. Now let's talk about Bernie's Coachella climate rant. He's out here trashing Trump, saying that climate change is not a hoax. Okay, fine. But let's have an honest conversation about actions versus words. Bernie is screaming about the fossil fuel industry. But where is his divestment plan? Oh, right. He's too busy flying to private rallies. Carbon footprint? What's that? And don't get me started on the climate crusaders with their beachfront mansions. Obama's got a pad in Martha's Vineyard. Sea level's rising, but apparently not on his beach. Biden's chilling in Delaware, waves lapping at his doorstep. No fucks given. Zuckerberg, he's got a Hawaiian estate so big it needs its own zip code. Bill Gates, he's got enough coastal property to start his own country. And AOC, yeah, she's not exactly roughing it in a tent. These people are either the world's worst investors, or they know something we don't. Like maybe that climate catastrophe, it's just a buzzword to scare the plebs. If the planet's doomed, why are the loudest climate warriors betting millions on oceanfront real estate? You don't buy a beach house if you think it's going to be Atlantis by 2030. It's almost like they're full of shit, preaching apocalypse while sipping pina coladas by the shore. And Bernie's in on it too, with his stand up to the fossil fuel industry shtick. Stand up how, Bern? By voting for the same policies that keep oil flowing while you cash your pension checks? The Coachella kids, they're just eating this up. They're waving their reusable straws like they're saving the polar bears. Meanwhile, their heroes are living the high life, burning more carbon in a week than most of us do in a decade. It's not just hypocrisy, it's performance art. Climate change is their boogeyman. It's a convenient excuse to control the narrative while they're laughing all the way to the bank or the beach. So there you have it. Bernie, AOC, the Coachella circus, where millionaires play revolutionaries and the crowds beg for more. Bernie has never worked a real job. AOC's gone from broke to baller, and they're both cheering for a class war that's going to eat them alive. Oh, and the climate change? That's just a scary story to sell books while they sunbathe on their beachfront property. The absurdity is off the charts. These two are out here cosplaying as Che Guevara. But the only thing they're overthrowing is logic. They want us to fight oligarchy while they're cashing checks from the system they claim to hate. It's not just hypocritical, it's fucking hilarious. They're the punchline to a joke that nobody's brave enough to tell. Here's the punchline. They know it. They know they're full of shit. But the applause is so sweet, the power too addictive. So they keep preaching. They keep posturing. They keep pretending they're not the elite that they rally against. And we keep falling for it. Because nothing screams revolution like a $600 festival ticket and a lecture from a millionaire. So what's the takeaway? Stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Next time Bernie or AOC tells you to stand up, check their bank accounts first. They are not your saviors. They're your landlords. So thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed this rant. Smash that like button. I earned it today. Subscribe. Let's keep calling out the hypocrisy together. I got more stories coming soon, so I'll see you later.